Lyric strain. The hum of bees, how it unnerves us. We tremble when a tree branch bends too low. The din of traffic is almost more bearable than the garden, where a hungering quiet erupts from the roots, cell by vivid cell. A bee hovers near, quivers in the shadow of the ear. We stiffen, scared it might drop inside and set our bones ringing. The sound is, after all, not too large, but too small, a resonance our skulls can't bear. What we feared wasn't the great brightness, but the minute trembling of tiny hairs, that shiver of recognition. Orange and Red Streak by Georgia O'Keeffe. If everything really did begin as light, then slowly filled the need for flesh, for sweetness of bearing. Oranges, pears, green apples, leaching inward, bleeding internally, firming up. If a nectarine grew from the outside in, it would look like this. Fist of light molded onto darkness, darkness like a last. Red hills in the distance. Yellow, accumulating weight, becomes orange. The belly of fruit ripens. Let us not forget, then, the shrinking darkness, the hand on the back of its neck forcing it down. Bullied into the center, it crouches in a shriveled almond. Think of its frustration when you bite in, interrupt the meditation. A nectarine concentrated on compactness. On the face of it, there seems to be no thought more pressing than the sky, but it has bled itself into being, and nothing wells up inside it, and nothing wills itself to grow. Red pepper. Forming in globular convolutions, as though growth were a disease, a patient evolution toward even greater deformity. It emerges from under the leaves, thick and warped as melted plastic, its whole body apologetic. The sun is hot. Put your hand on it, the size of your heart, which may look like this, abashed, perhaps, growing in ways you never predicted. It's almost painful to touch, but you can't help yourself. It's so familiar. The dents, the twisted symmetry. You can see how hard it has tried. Saskatchewan. The cows have come to see us, leaning their soft, mucousy noses over the fence. Their breath heavy and smelling of the ocean. Salt, mollusk, seaweed. It's not difficult to imagine them, hooves and horns rising out of the waves. Testing their footing, they clomp up the beach and wander out to the prairie, looking for a place to lie down. Their eyes show how far they have traveled, but not what they have seen. They have the look of all lost peoples. Everything, even intelligence submerged. They peer at us, wait for us to make the first move. Only at dusk, near the salt lick, do they reveal themselves. We overhear their rough tongues scraping the block, as if that were the way home. Stained Glass. Autumn Landscape, Tiffany Studios, New York, 1923. Because sometimes the world is like this, fueled by light. each leaf's turning transparent as the eyes of saints. Glazed over not because they are bored or there is nothing left to do, but because there is this. You would swear every restaurant, every shop, every glossy magazine in New York City photosynthesizes, works out the delicate equation between life and red is the color of, blue is the color of, green is the color of the trees, who, monk-like, have given everything away. We see through and through until there is nothing left but light on the far side of things. Upstream. Pouring over the weir, the river is time reversing. The trout that splash silver out of the water are splitting seconds, infinitely, until the fragments are so small you can't see them. Invisible flicks of light from their tails. We aren't prepared for how myopic they are, nosing at the falls, looking for a way in. A leap, we say, expecting a beginning and an end. But as long as they hang there, they are not made of time. They do fall back, but, however briefly, the moment opens up for them, and they pass through. Even those who miss the mark entirely, those perfect, useless arches.